Team Rocket attacks Cerulean citizens. Not a day goes by without Team Rocket being in the news. Come on, I want to read the newspaper. Let me read. Wait, you said Team Rocket was in the news? How come my victory at Pewter City is not in there? Ah, whatever. You can't do everything about that. Hi everybody, I'm Syrachime. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon FireRed. In the last episode, I defeated the Pewter City Gym Leader Brock, made my way through Route 3, and made it here to Mount Moon, or at this Pokemon Center at Mount Moon. In this episode, we're going to explore Mount Moon, hopefully get through it and progress forward with our journey towards Cerulean City, because that's where the town map said we apparently needed to go. But before they do that, would you get up? Quit! Stop it! Quit. I'm gonna talk to you. Okay, set 6 Pokeballs in my belt. Yeah, that'll do it. At most, you could have 6 Pokemon with you. Well, that's very helpful, and something I forgot to mention. The guy that travels a lot can apparently says you can only have 6 Pokemon with you at one time. And that is actually 2. If you go to your party, you can see that you have 6 slots here. 4 of them are empty for me. But you could have 6 Pokemon with you or 6 Pokemon in your team. So, kind of be thinking about that. You can have 6 Pokemon, and those Pokemon need to kind of help each other out defensively, offensively, things like that. What do you have to say, old man? Hello there, Lottie. Lottie. I should totally do this with a Scottish accent. Oi there, Lottie! Have I got a deal for you? I let you have a secret Pokemon, a Magikarp, for just $500. Alright, the Pokemon we have here for $500 is the Water-type Pokemon Magikarp. Magikarp, when you first get it, is not a good Pokemon at all. I mean, it is just literally downright pathetic. It has no attack stat, no defense, it's just awful. And it takes quite a while to level up. You're going to have to switch out and back in just to level that thing up. But if you can level that thing up, you will be rewarded with a fantastic Pokemon. I don't want to go into too much about Gyarados right now until we actually see one, but if you level up Magikarp, you will be greeted with a fantastic Pokemon that would be totally worth your time. Whether you get this thing or not is completely up to you. You can get Magikarp for free in like 2 or 3 towns, but you know, it's just up to you. If you want it now and want to try leveling it up now, that'd be a good thing. And if you can get it to Gyarados, it evolves at level 20, which is pretty late, but you know, if you can evolve it into a Gyarados, you've got a fantastic Pokemon. Man, my Scottish accent is horrible. But yeah, you can get this Magikarp here for 500 Poké-dollars, but I don't think I'm going to buy it. I just don't think a Magikarp would fit well in my team. I have a water type that I am considering, which I will not reveal yet, but you know, I'm going to just hold out for now. I can't really necessarily train 3 Pokemon at this point in time. I could, but it'd just be difficult. Sometimes you'll have too many Pokemon with you. Can't anymore. In that case, you should just store them. Alright, that's some useful information. Store, if you caught Pokemon, if you have 6 Pokemon in your party and you catch another one, it will be transferred into the PC, and if you want that Pokemon, you'll have to withdraw it from the PC, like we did that item, and deposit another Pokemon in that. Okay, so that basically covers this Pokemon Center. So with that, there is one thing I'd like to show real quick. I've kind of bypassed quite a few number of these, but if you see the grass right here, there is actually a hidden item right here. In this case, it's a Persimberry. Now, if you see locations like this, where you see the grass like that, kind of just sticking up like there's a hole in there or something, that is a hidden item, and you would be wise to pick those up. I don't know where all of those are, and I won't be showing all of those. I'll just be showing what little I know, and this is one of those times, so yeah, there's a hidden item, and if you find any more like that, good for you. So with that, I think it's time to head into Mount Moon. We should have a full healed party, which we do. Alright, let's progress into Mount Moon. Alright, we are officially here in Mount Moon. But before we get too far in, there are a few new Pokemon that you can find here. The first Pokemon you could find here in Mount Moon is the flying poison-type Pokemon Zubat. Zubat's typing is incredibly unique and gives you a quad resistance to bug, fighting, and grass-type Pokemon. And though these defensive options are fantastic, I'm afraid that's all Zubat really has going for it. When it grows, it only has modest defenses, a modest attack stat, and while it does have good speed, it could be a whole lot better. Now Zubat does get access to another evolution, but you are not able to obtain that evolution in this game. If Zubat could evolve all the way into Crobat, which is not listed here, it would be a fantastic Pokemon that I would recommend for pretty much any player. But because you can only evolve into Golbat with this Pokemon, it doesn't really reach its full potential. And because of that, I don't really recommend Zubat. I mean, if you want something to take hits from grass and fighting types, this would be a decent Pokemon to consider. But if you're looking for something to attack and, do some damage very quickly, this would not be the Pokemon for you. There are better Pokemon out there to consider. The second Pokemon you could find here in Mount Moon is the Rock Ground type Pokemon Geodude. Now, while I want to say that Geodude is a good Pokemon, I'm afraid that I can't necessarily recommend it. Despite having a good attack and defense stat as it grows, its special defense and speed is just abysmal, and it has a quad weakness to two very common moves in this game. Combine that with the fact that you can't even access this Pokemon's final evolution without trading it, and you have a Pokemon that is more or less just dead weight on your team. However, if you do have a partner that you can trade with and get its final evolution, you can get a fairly hard-hitting Pokemon who can take some physical hits fairly well, as long as it's not weak to it. Geodude does have a lot of weaknesses, and using it is a high-risk, high-reward kind of thing. However, if you do want a rock type and you can get this thing fully evolved, I could recommend it, but if you don't have a trade partner, I would just leave this Pokemon alone because it would just be dead weight otherwise. The third Pokemon you could find here in Mount Moon is the grass bug type Pokemon Paris. Paris' typing is very unique, but unfortunately it does not serve this Pokemon very well. It has a lot of quad weaknesses, and it also has some pretty bad stats. Its attack stat is modest, but that is literally about it. This Pokemon really doesn't have anything to make it stand out from anything else that you'll find in this game. The only thing that I'd actually recommend Paris for is for an HM slave, because it can gain a lot of the HMs that you're going to need in this game. But if you're looking for something to actually use on your team, I would not recommend Paris at all. Its typing and its stats are it's just too horrible to even really consider using, and if you want a grass type, I would recommend holding out for something a lot better, because you won't find anything here. The final Pokemon you could find here in Mount Moon is the normal type Pokemon Clefairy. Now, a word of warning up front, Clefairy is very rare. You only have a 1% chance of actually finding this thing in Mount Moon. However, if you are able to find it and catch it, you will acquire a Pokemon that is pretty good. It has a pretty good special defense stat as well as an HP stat to go along with it. Unfortunately, this Pokemon does have only a modest defense stat and a modest special attack stat at best. Now that doesn't mean it's a bad Pokemon. If you're looking for something to take hits, this would be something to consider, especially this early in the game. However, do keep in mind that there are other Pokemon that can take hits a little bit better, and Clefairy is outclassed by those very Pokemon. But if you're looking for something to take hits and you want it right now, Clefairy would be a good Pokemon to consider. Okay, so here in Mount Moon, this area can be long and obnoxious, and because I'm really not wanting to run to any wild Pokemon right now, here is when I'm going to use my repels. So hopefully we can avoid meeting any Pokemon for 100 steps. And there's TM09 Bullet Seed. Bullet Seed's pretty good. If you got a grass type Pokemon, well, it's not pretty good. Basically, 2 to 5 hits in one turn. It has a low base power. Yeah, it's alright. If you've ever seen Fury Swipes or Fury Attack, that's basically what that is. It's a grass type version of that. So let's avoid this poison, or this bug trainer here. I've had enough bug trainers to last me a lifetime. Beware, Zubat is a bloodsucker. So it's Dracula in the Pokemon world. Are you an official trainer, or are you just... Oh, you are... That's the second time I've run into a trainer that doesn't look like a trainer. Bah. Oh well, whatever. I guess we can give Pikachu a chance to level up some more. Hey, there's Clefairy! How did you get a Clefairy? That thing is rare. Rarer than Pikachu. I am not going to try to find one of these. Yeah. Thundershock at Pikachu. Clefairy use Growl. Keep shocking at Pikachu. Haha, paralyzed ya. Ow. That was not double slap, that was triple slap. Oh, I can stay out here. Yes, stay paralyzed. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Kill it, Pikachu! I'm sorry. Faint it, Pikachu! Encore. That basically means that I'll have to do the same move over and over for 2 to 5 turns. I don't have a choice. But that doesn't matter because Clefairy has fainted. Haha, I will say that now instead of die. You watch, I'll probably end up saying that something died in between here and time I get out of here. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. So we can go in there, but I saw an item down here and I'd like to go get it, so... Ooh, scientists beware. No! Repel effect wore off. Potion! It's not a bad item. I'm actually going to use that now. Use that on Pikachu. We got a long way to go yet. Use another repel. Okay. See if we can avoid this. I just walked right into that. What? Don't sneak up on me. Look who's talking. Who snuck up on who, dude? Oh, whatever. Super nerd. I don't know how you pronounce that. Javan? Would like to battle. We will call him Joe. Aw. Can't do anything against that. Well, actually, I can. We'll swap out Pikachu for a fire type. Magnemite is part steel, which means he's weak to fire. Which is my thought process behind this. If you do that, then pay no attention to what I've just said. And if you didn't know that, you learned something new today. So what do you got now, Joe? Voltorb. I'll stay with Charmeleon. Let's keep using Ember here. Burning things alive. Yeah, here's something funny. If you look at Voltorb, now think about a Pokeball. They are the same exact thing. There are some people, you know, its Pokedex entry says that sometimes Voltorb is actually mistaken for a Pokeball. But keep in mind that a Pokeball is like, oh, I don't know, 6 inches tall, and Voltorbs are like a foot tall. How do you get those two things mixed up? Seriously. I mean, that'd be like saying there's an apple on one side compared to a grape right next to it, and you look at the grape and say, oh, look at apple. I don't know. Alright, now that we've finished that... Ooh, what's over here? Another item. I'm glad I came over here. Rare candy. Ah, those are good. You get those. Those will raise your Pokemon's level by 1. And I'm going to save that for now because I don't have anything... Oh, another item. Escape rope. That's pretty good too. If you use that, you can automatically leave any dungeon that you go into. Up here we have a guy that's trying to battle us, but can't battle us for whatever reason. Alright, let's go down this stairs and see what's down here. Hello, anything down here? I don't need another repel. Ooh. Who are you? We, Team Rocket, are Pokemon gangsters. We strike fear with our strength. Aren't you guys supposed to be terrorizing people in Cerulean City? This is Mount Moon. What are you doing here? Ah, whatever. I'm sorry to say whatever now. Like I say, I don't know. Gotta stop that. Okay, ground-type Pokemons. No matter what I do here, I'm in bad shape. Tail Whip at Pikachu. I have an interesting time coming up with a nickname for my Pokemon. I really don't know what you'd call a female Pikachu. I had one in mind, but well, it's not going to work now. Let's go switch out here because I can't do anything against this Sandshrew. It's right in its defense, and Quick Attack is a physical attack, so it's going to do absolutely nothing. We will use the absolutely absurd physics of fire on ground and burn the ground-type Pokemon. Critical hit! I've got a lot of those. I guess I could explain what those do now instead of leaving you guys in confusion. Critical hits basically do double the damage that of what your attack would have normally done. So, like, Charmeleon would have done 60 damage with his Ember attack. It would effectively do 120 damage because of the critical hit. Rat versus Mouse. Who will win? The irony being that I don't like any of them. I love Pikachu's static ability. Alright, you go Pikachu. Got to use Zubat. Alright, one of the new Pokemon you could find in this area, which I've already covered, so there's nothing to talk about there. But it is a flying type, so I could shock it. Oh, come on. I just picture Zubat saying, I want to suck your blood. How about a mouth of lightning? I wish I could shoot lightning. That'd be cool. Be able to shock anybody. Anytime, any day. The ability to generate lightning. An item. Must get item. Got item. Star piece. Ooh! That's a good thing. Sorry about that. You can sell that. Ah! Excuse me. I am trying to get through this. So I was saying, star piece. You could sell that for 5,000 Poké-Dollars. Good item to find and have. And with that, we're going to move on with the repel now in effect because I completely forgot about it during that battle.